Greetings everyone, welcome to part 5 of the Iron Dominion Saga. We're 1/4 of the way done, people. Told you this is a long arc. Before we continue on, let's recap what happened last time. The Iron Queen took control of Monkey Kong to cause some mayhem. Sonic ended it by placing a new power ring on his head. Notice how the new ring doesn't have the regal look of the previous one. I'll talk about that later. Anyway, the Iron Queen and Snively left believing everyone would hate Kong, when in fact the opposite happened. Too quickly for my taste, but we've got to move on to the next conflict, which started with Snively bragging to Crazy Eggman that he has the good life now. Knowing Snively's luck, things are about to go south for him. We begin with Crazy Eggman rambling on before blabbing the Epsilon Gamma Gamma override code. By the way, good continuity with Eggman uttering the same words from last issue. Snively hears the door clicking and is greeted with his worst nightmare. Crazy Eggman has no time to instill fear in the runt. He has a Hedgehog to destroy. In a panic, Snively orders the Iron Dominion forces to the detention center before running into the Iron King. Literally. But it's too late. Crazy Eggman's on the loose with his mech, the Egg Tortoise. That's right, despite his fractured mind, he's still determined to take care of Sonic. Speaking of, we see him checking up on Bunny in the hospital. She's on her way to recovery thanks to an emergency influx of electrolytes. All she needed was Gatorade. Got it. Khan's also there to apologize about not informing her about the Iron Queen's powers. That's fine, but we learn from Dr. Quack here that he's also a patient at the hospital, so he shouldn't have left to get some flowers. We have more of the easily forgiven shtick before Nicole pops up to tell everyone something large is coming. Sonic's ready to go. Monkey Kong, however, has to stay behind. Doctor's orders. Sonic thinks it's the Iron Dominion until he comes across the Egg Tortoise. Crazy Eggman recognizes his nemesis and makes sure Sonic's aware of this. We get more of his ramblings, this time about being the star of a TV show. Sonic doesn't get it, but we fans do.
Oh, it's from the show! It's from the show! From the show! Oh, it's from the show! It's from the show! From the show! I'm gonna be on TV! I'm gonna be a TV star! I'm gonna be on TV!
Meanwhile, the Iron Queen is scrambling her forces. Conquering Storm reports that Espio has failed to capture the Master Emerald and has returned to the Shinobi clan. The Iron Queen then orders Conquering Storm back to the Dragon Kingdom to keep the other clans in line. Sorry, Snively, no time for love. The Iron Queen has some of the Legion remain behind, which will actually tie into the backup story of these next two issues. And did Lien-Da make a Firefly reference? Yeah, I agree with you, Legion guy. A bit odd if you get the original context. I'm not going to tell you. Look it up yourselves. Back over to the Sonic Eggman fight, Tails arrives. He uses Crazy Eggman's focus on Sonic to effortlessly disable the Egg Tortoise. Tails wonders why Sonic's going easy on Eggman. Sonic himself doesn't understand why, except it all goes back to the last fight they had in issue 200. Still, Sonic doesn't have to stoop to Eggman's level of cruelty when dealing with him now. Tails warns him that Eggman's still dangerous even if he's crazy. Should have listened to your buddy, Sonic. Apparently, that sucker punch is all Crazy Eggman needs because he passes out afterwards. Tails now has the unfortunate job of dragging Eggman back to New Mobiletropolis because Sonic has to hold off a large Iron Dominion force that has just arrived. The backup story does feature Lien-Da in her bunk flashing back to the time she and her brother Hedgehog planned to kill their father Luger and become joint Grandmasters. Everybody got that? However, the weapon she used turned out to be unstable. Oh sure, it did the job, but Lien-Da's chance to become a joint Grandmaster literally blew up in her face. She survived, but Hedgehog used the chance to become sole Grandmaster. Lien-Da had to remain a commissar to throw off suspicion. In the present, Dimitri summons Lien-Da to his lab, and this part ends with her seeing this as a chance to become Grandmaster. This backup story is catered to fans of the Knuckles series and its characters. It gives some backstory on Lien-Da and the Dark Legion in general, while at the same time incorporating game material. For those who don't know, the Dark Legion was originally imprisoned in a dimension called the Twilight Zone. No, seriously. Here is also known as the Twilight Cage, the name of the alternate dimension the Nocturus clan was banished to in the game Sonic the Dark Brotherhood. The mentioning of the Zoa further supports this. If you're wondering, yes, the Nocturus clan exists in this continuity too. We just don't see them. Had to look at the Sonic Comic Encyclopedia to remind myself. Kind of funny since elements from the Dark Brotherhood were more or less inspired by stuff from the comics, and then brought into the comics themselves. Brings everything full circle, don't you think? Anyway, part 1 of this backup story gets a 6 because I always enjoy some world building and backstory. The only thing I'm indifferent to is Lien-Da wanting to become Grandmaster. To me, it doesn't make sense because she's now part of the Eggman Empire, and that title is pretty much equivalent to the term Egg Boss. I'll talk more about it next time. There are some minor things in the main story I want to go ahead and get out of the way. First, the hospital scene. Credit where it's due, I did like how Monkey Kong was trying to apologize for not sharing information about the Queen's powers. He's learning, very slowly mind you, from his mistakes. The thing that still bugs me a bit is that whole easily forgivable attitude Antoine has. Bunny, I can let slide a bit, but her husband? He should have the same sour attitude as Dr. Quack here. Though I didn't expect Antoine to be boiling mad at this point, with his wife being fine and all that. Maybe the two had a chat about things while in the hospital room. The second minor thing I want to talk about is the Iron Queen sending Conquering Storm back to the Dragon Kingdom. The only reason to do so is, to give something away early, she'll be needed during an upcoming story arc. The final minor thing I want to mention is Butler has altered the look of the Iron King to more resemble Tracy Yardley's interpretation of the character, as noted by the before and after pictures. Okay, now that's done, let's get to the show stealer of the issue, Crazy Eggman. His current mental state gives the comic an excuse to channel his various incarnations. There's his Sad AM self,
Snively!
his Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog self,
Snooping as usual!
his game self as he's using a mech to attack Sonic, and notice the outfit during this issue. While he's still wearing the Eggman outfit, complete with glasses again, he's invoking the Robotnik outfit, using his straitjacket as a cape and wrapping junk around his left arm to make it look like it was roboticized. He's even crazy enough to invoke his theme song from Sonic Adventure 2.
I love to destroy the blue and snow. He's an obstacle that always gets in my way.
Sonic still feels guilty about what happened in issue 200, even though he shouldn't. It's a complicated relationship these two have. Sonic was probably thinking when he defeated Eggman in issue 200 that the Doctor will be mad and led away in handcuffs. He didn't count on this happening. He also didn't count on getting sucker punched, but this was more for comedic effect. I'm going to go ahead and give this story an 8. It's Crazy Eggman and the character's reactions to him that sells it for me. So now we have Tails dragging his sorry rear back to New Mobotropolis while Sonic has to hold off a large Iron Dominion force. Next issue should be interesting. Until then, have a good day and be safe.
I hate that!